If you are a Leo woman, sun, moon, and rising sign, how many times did you make yourself look smaller because you want to avoid being told you are too much when you already know you're not? How often did you tone down your presence in a room because you know exactly what your presence can do in a room? And how did your presence make other people in the room feel insecure? Well, there is a shift that's happening right now. And for you, women going through midlife phase, this shift is you are done negotiating your presence. If you're a woman going through midlife and lately you feel less interested in how you are perceived and more interested in how you express yourself, this message is for you. You may be noticing you don't want to perform to make other people feel comfortable anymore. You don't want to shrink your energy to fit any kind of environment, whether it's a domestic environment or a work environment or even friendship environments. You don't want to second guess your natural visibility as a Leo woman. And if so, you are not becoming different, by the way. You are returning to your core self. For those who are new here, my name is Christine. And my practice, the Evolving Self practice, is a unique blend of modern astrology and midlife coaching for women going through a midlife phase. I work with astrology as a practical tool for timing, emotional awareness, and for decision making in real life. Most will tell you what the planets are doing right now, but information without integration is just noise. As a life coach, I know that you don't just need to know what the stars are doing in the sky. You need a structured psychological tools to actually help you live those transits in real life. And right now, Leo, the current planets alignments is staging a new massive and permanent restructuring of your core identity and visibility. Here is what exactly is happening. But before we get there, if you want to receive the daily moon guidance and also a weekly guided astrology support with reflections, notes, meditation, practical exercises, you can join my premium membership, the Evolving Self Astrology and coaching membership. Links are right below in the description box. So if you enjoy this work, make sure to subscribe so do not miss a video. And now let's get back to the Leo. What you're feeling right now is not random. This is a restructuring of your identity and self-expression. Pluto right now is sitting in Aquarius, directly opposite your sun sign, or your moon sign or your rising sign. So it's opposite your Leo energy. While Saturn and Neptune are holding space for Aries because they're sitting there in Aries holding a trine aspect to Leo. For Leo, Pluto is currently sitting in Aquarius, which is opposite to your sign, Leo. The Pluto is the master transformer. This is a completely revolutionary. Pluto in Aquarius is completely removing any external authority over your identity. And this is one of the reasons why do you feel the change right now. It's shifting you away from looking for your reflection in other people's eyes. Now let's talk about why this feels such a massive internal disruption. This opposition is creating a direct, intense collision with you, Leo. As a Leo, you want to feel and you want to be seen. Aquarius rules the group, the network, the society expectations. For decades, you have been navigating that Aquarius space by adjusting your volume and your presence to manage the connection with everybody else in your life. Now, Leo sign naturally wants to shine without any filter, with real sun, warm light, heart, and presence. But the collision that's happening between Pluto in Aquarius and Leo sign, it's forcing you to look inward, to choose yourself first. And this is the reason why your mindset is feeling that it's shifting. Something is changing in you, and you are slowly shifting to a new identity that you can relate to finally. Now, meanwhile, you've got Saturn and Neptune sitting in Aries with a trine, which is a support to your Leo sign. They are holding space in Aries. And each of them is forming a beautiful energy, and I'm going to explain it in a second. So it's a cooperative, it's a support energy to you, Leo. In astrology, a trine means that you're building something new, but it's like landing to your lap without any effort that you need to do. However, when I say that, when I look at these two planets in Aries, the sign Aries is the sign of warrior. It's the sign of the pioneer. It's the sign of something that's new, that's being started, but it's also the sign of individual focus. So you're focusing on yourself. And this transit, the trine that's happening to your sign, is actually, it's a gentle spiritual ocean. Like it's like flowing, dissolving. That's Neptune energy. It's dissolving the old version of you, while Saturn is building a new foundation of your own identity. So Neptune is washing away what you used to be. If you have been trying to force yourself to adjust to any environment, to force your presence in a way that doesn't make other people feel small or feel insecure, now that is shifting. You do not need to fake that anymore if you have been. Because when you do not show up with your presence, when you tone down your presence, you're actually trying to put a presence that's not actually you, Leo. Now, when I look at that, if you have been trying to please other people as a people pleaser, just to keep the peace, just to keep the connections with other people, that has expired. The new thing is now you are showing up without any filters of who you really are. Not that you're not caring about the connections that you have in your life, but you're caring more about yourself. Now that is a new tolerance. That's a new thing. As a Leo, your core life function is visibility. You aren't insecure. You are very confident. You have confidence as your trademark. And that is presence based. But over decades, this presence was conditioned by society. You were told you were too bright, you were too smart, you were too visible, you were too noticeable. So you learned to tone down your light in environment and filter yourself. Now, here's the change. You cannot pretend to be less anymore. Saturn is giving you a new space to build on the identity of your true self, of who you are and how you want to be seen and how you want to show up. This identity shift is being accelerated by having Uranus in Gemini and Jupiter in Cancer. And I'm going to explain these two energies. So Uranus in Gemini is actually a sextile to you, Leo, which is another supportive energy. But the sextile needs you to show up to get the opportunity that this sextile is giving you. So Uranus is Gemini in Gemini. It's speeding up your self-awareness. It acts like a sudden flash of lightning, sudden awareness, showing you exactly where you have been adjusting your tone or reducing your intensity to make other people, such as coworkers, partners, family members, friends, anybody feels comfortable. At the same time, Jupiter in Cancer, which is another energy, is not that supportive. It's actually a quincunx. Quincunx is something that is taking your attention somewhere, but it's not a challenging aspect. Now, looking at that, when you've got Jupiter in Cancer, this is making your deepest feelings feel impossible to ignore. Something inside you is just burning in, and it's forcing you to look inwards and see the truth about yourself. Combined with the North Node in Pisces, which is another quincunx energy that's not a supportive, but it's not a challenging as well, pulling your attention away from trying to please everybody else in your life and focusing on you. Now you're being pushed towards an authenticity that does not ask for permission. You are just showing up with who you are. Because of Uranus, you are going to see your shrinking patterns in real time. Meaning, the moment you catch yourself doing the old pattern, you are going to see it right away and you will have a choice whether to adjust it or go back to the old patterns. Now you have a complete decision making about that. Now, as a coaching tip, I would tell you, slow down the movement between your insight and response. You don't have to act immediately. You just have to be aware of what's going on, and then you make a choice. Now, when you feel the urge to automatically dim your light or soften your voice to make somebody else feels comfortable, which is the old pattern, this is where you take a pause, take a breath, and let the information settle in. Now, go to Jupiter in Cancer and ask yourself this question. Does this environment actually allow me to feel like myself? If the answer is no, you do not need to go there and you do not need to adapt yourself to this environment anymore. You simply just withdraw yourself from this presence, not your identity, but your presence. Now, what you're feeling right now is not random in midlife phase, because the planets are forcing a massive cleanup of how you show up or used to show up in the world. Right now, the heavy planets are shifting the pressure away from what other people think of you. You don't care about that anymore. And the placing this force and this focus entirely on you, on yourself. The universe is demanding you to stop looking for approval in other people's eyes. And if you are having one question, direct question to yourself, are you ready to completely be honest about who you are and how you want to be and how you want to show up when you walk in the room without taking too much care about what other people think? Now, this old version of you is the one that put a fake smile or played the other people pleaser version or acted warm just to keep people feel secured and feel comfortable around you. This version is expiring. As a Leo, your natural state is to be seen, is to have a presence. You are not feeling insecure. But in midlife, 40, 50, 60, midlife, yes, midlife is 60 because some people feel younger than their biological age, or even 70. And you learn that your light can make other people feel uncomfortable. Now we are learning that this pattern is shrinking, and you don't have to shrink yourself anymore just because other people are feeling threatened. Here is the coaching tip for you this week. Notice where you are playing a role that just to be accepted, you no longer want to pretend to be small. So Leo, if you have been feeling this internal shift, the total refusal to minimize life anymore and minimize yourself in life anymore, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You're not becoming difficult or loud. You are becoming different. You're just becoming unfiltered. And this difference is showing you who you really are. This chapter of your life is realizing that you no longer need to ask for other people's permission to be who you are and to take your normal space. If you want to take this deep coaching work further together, this is exactly what we do inside this Evolving Self membership. Every Saturday, my premium members, they get a private video lesson delivered directly to their inbox. And we look at the current transits and how they apply to the specific life situations using the structured coaching tools to help them navigate these midlife changes with absolute clarity. If you are ready to stop shrinking yourself and step into your natural authority, click on the secure link in the subscription and join us this week and allow yourself to receive all the guidance that you need. Before you go, leave a comment below. Where are you shrinking, or where have you been shrinking your energy? Even if no one is asking you to, let's talk about it. Thank you for being here and welcome to this next chapter in your life. I'll see you in the next video.